Shay, along with your guest host,
Lady T.
and this is Black Excellence and Culture, the good and the bad. Again, this is Black Excellence. Let just we just gonna let that resonate. Black Excellence
Because we are
and
excellent.
Culture, the good and the bad. Um, we got a good show coming here for y'all tonight. Here tonight. Um, we are gonna be discussing the main thing that's going on in the world today, which is none other than racism. And we're also gonna be delving into black on black crime and crimes while black. There's a difference. Let me say that again. Racism, black on black crime, and crimes while black. There is definitely a difference. So let's go ahead and get that underway. Feel free to join in. Feel free to join in
Like,
the discussion.
Comment.
Yeah, share, comment. You feeling some type of way because of stuff that we saying? I mean, you can put your
Comments.
opinion in there. We will definitely listen. But yeah. Give me just a second. I'm sorry. About to put this up here.
Oh.
Okay, so yeah. Um anyway. But yeah, so jumping right on in here, as far as racism, because I had a good discussion. I'm not gonna say it was a debate or anything of that nature, because it was not. It was a very intelligent discussion
Conversation.
and yeah, conversation and discussion with a family friend, and basically what was being said in regards to racism. Well, we had a lot of stuff to talk about.
Y'all
but
did.
We are about to go ahead and jump right on in. So, anybody who's anybody, for one, knows that racism is real.
Very.
Let me just say that, for one. And especially in today's day and age, we have one of the most racist people. Ain't my president, but we have one of the most racist.
Two of the most.
Two.
Because the VP just as bad.
His whole cabinet is terrible, but
Just trash.
yeah. So we have one of the most racist presidents that is currently in office, and of course, with voting and everything right now, which is very important, we are trying to get him out before he
ASAP.
causes the next world war.
He done already caused havoc. We don't need more.
But yeah, basically, I think I just shared it to. I think I just shared it to the page. Anyway, I'm sorry, we had a whole slow moment there. But yeah, no, getting back into
Anybody
it,
want to host?
we
Anybody
do
wanna
have
host?
one of the most racist presidents in the office as of right now, and
Mhm.
as I said yesterday during my discussion, basically, with everything that's going on now, I do not, let me rephrase that, I do not condone any of his behavior. I don't like him whatsoever. He's not my president. I don't claim him. He's not one of us. But I am somewhat glad that he did get in office, and I'm gonna tell you why before y'all jump down my throat. The main thing that he has done since he's been in office is brought out all the racist people. Not saying that it wasn't there before, because it definitely was.
It's just stronger now.
Right.
A lot stronger.
Like, people come out the woodworks, okay? Like, but to all those people that were trying to be in disbelief, maybe, or maybe think that it wasn't actually going on, like racism, I don't care about it because it's not here. Like, I don't have to deal with it. My family's not dealing with it or whatever. Like,
Oh, it's been here.
whatever. Now you can definitely see
Yeah.
through clear eyes.
Clear
as it
eyes.
is 2020. Okay, I felt. I'm gonna note that in there. I felt offended by that, but anyway, we're gonna continue. Hey! Shout out to you, Nikkei. But
Hey, Nikki.
but yeah. So since
That
he's
was so
brought,
ghetto.
it was. But so since we have noticed that all the races have now been brought to the forefront, we can see them for who they really are. Like, all the people that we believe to be our friends, or whoever you want to call them, your bosses, your friends, people you go to church with, people that you see on the street, people that are in your restaurants and your grocery stores and stuff like that. Everybody done shown they tails in this racist community here today, and now it has been brought to the forefront, so we can go ahead and acknowledge that it is truly here. We have reversed and did a whole 360 as far as almost near slavery, to be real. We're not there. Let me just say that. No, I'm not saying that we're going back into slavery, because we are not our ancestors. Let me get that straight.
Cause I fight.
Right. Don't think you can just come up in here and just whoop my butt, boss. Like, nah.
Nah, pal.
But I say that in the sense that we are going backwards instead of moving forward. If we all work together collectively as one race, as we pretty much are, and notice that, then the world will be a better place. But since, you know, the white Americans came over and not only took over the native lands from the Native Americans and killed them off to take the lands, they
found it first.
Right. They brought us over from Africa, and we can't even just say it was them, because there were some of us
sold off by a black man.
There were some of us that were selling us. So we were brought over here unwillingly to work as a slave in the cotton fields, working for the massa, cleaning and cutting his yard and taking care of his house and his kids and they kids or whatever, to make them feel more superior. And then, just to make matters worse, they beat us to no end, to break us as a people. They took our children away as mothers so that they could break our spirits, so that we will be more, what's the word I'm looking for? So that we would be basically more prone to or susceptible to what it is they were putting us through. And they didn't like the fact that we started learning things and teaching ourselves things, because not a lot of people know this, and I'm gonna tell you, it's a sad thing, but you know, not a lot of people know that cornrows, like the braids, they are not corn rolls like ROLLS.
Nope.
They are ROWS. Cornrows were, or began, basically so that our ancestors would be able to figure out a way to escape, and we could tell each other in secret without them knowing, so that we could run away. They created paths, showed where the North Star was. But yeah,
they would hide like hints or like significant features of things from those paths
right
in the corn rolls.
Right.
Because nobody ever thought to look through a thick black girl's hair. Like,
Right.
it's just hair.
And I mean, they snuck food.
Yep.
They would sneak, coins that they could find, to be able to live off of while they escaped.
Tuck and roll, okay.
But as I stated, not a lot of people know that.
Yeah.
That was our passageway, But I'm not saying that all white America is bad, because they're not. There are a lot of people out there that, are actually apologizing for their ancestors and their behavior as far as that goes, and they want to show that. We consider y'all as friendlies. Thank you for being a part. And then also you have those that are trying to do things to help us, but a lot of us are so proud and feel like they're, oh, well, because you trying to help me out or give me money or do XYZ, you paid my way for, whatever. They could have paid for your food and you didn't know it or whatever, but just because it was a white person that did that,
you feel like they want something.
Right. Oh, well, what do you want? Why are you doing this for me? I have my own. Like, it shouldn't be like that. It's just them paying it forward. I mean, granted, I would take some free groceries or something, you know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, I'm just saying. I know people that, like, literally, I know people that have legit gone in because a white person wanted to do something nice for them. And not every time that they do something nice for you is out of spite or malice. They could just genuinely be wanting to help.
Yeah.
But we've been subjected to so much, we don't want that and we don't see it.
Yeah.
So,
speaking
go ahead.
of ancestry and coinage.
What's up?
So, I like to scroll through my Facebook. I like to find stuff.
All day, every day.
That's fine. Don't come for me. Anyway, so I found this little post or whatever. I'm going to read it. It says, in Louisiana, black women were put in cells with male prisoners and some became pregnant. In 1848, legislators passed a new law declaring that all children born in the penitentiary of African American parents serving life sentences would be property of the state. The women would raise the kids until the age of 10, at which point the penitentiary would place an ad in the newspaper. 30 days later, the children would be auctioned off on the courthouse steps, cash on delivery. The proceeds were used to fund schools for white children. Many of the black children were purchased by prison officials. Bruh.
Wow.
That, first of all,
When did that come out?
This was posted November 1st, 2018.
Do you know when that was actually going on?
It doesn't say like the month or anything. It just says in 1848.
Wow.
That's when it was passed.
Listen. Listen. Okay. They already okay.
So y'all put black women in the cells with black prisoners to make babies, but y'all be complaining because we got kids everywhere now.
Listen, and it's not even that. The irony with that is the fact that they are breaking up black families,
Right.
with the new Jim Crow.
Right.
Because
Exactly.
we were slaves back then,
Mhm.
and we couldn't really escape without, being killed or anything else happening to us, and then we
Yeah.
being brought back and beaten to a pulp.
Yeah.
But not only did we escape the slavery, but now Jim Crow has come back around, but this time instead of being out in the cornfields, we're in the prisons.
Yeah.
Because there are plenty, and I mean, the majority are black men. But there are a lot of black people that are in prison. We make up over 60% of the prison population, but only about 10% of the general population.
Unfortunately.
Like, so they took us from slavery. We built past there, made our way, tried to make our way as a culture with Black Wall Street and starting to get voting rights, women's rights, and things of that nature. But then just to be brought back and do a whole nother 360 and be put in prison cells. And that's breaking up a lot of families because, as I stated, a lot of the prisoners are black men.
Yeah.
And then the little white kids, or, you know, I mean, I'm not just going to say it's just white people because it's every race, but the little white kids have a reason to come at us and be like, oh, well, you ain't got a daddy no way, so who you gonna call daddy now? Ha ha. Like, I mean, honestly, and not just to put business out there, but I'm one of them. You know, I didn't have my father due to, you know, the prison game.
Yeah.
Like, I knew a lot of people that didn't have their dads around because of being in prison. And that's not something fun, because you have that mentality like, okay, I want a whole family too. Like, my white friend, their mom and their dad are together. They may not be happy.
That's when you realize you don't have to be the product of the pain. So, like, when you come across those families that don't have the set of parents, don't feel like, you know, oh, I'm less of a person or I'm less of a kid because one parent's here and the other one's not. You can take that pain and build it, like, in a positive way. Build your pain into positivity, because it's a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? Entrepreneurs and a lot of black business owners that's out here with just the mom. So a lot of them out here with just the dad, and they doing big things. Like, you don't have to be the product of that. You don't have to. It's a choice. Some women that don't have their dad, or like they don't have their mom, or like they were the product of like sexual abuse or whatever, they feel like, you know, oh, this is what makes me feel loved, letting like multiple things go wrong with me. You don't have to be that person. You don't have to be that person. Don't let your past make your future.
And then too, on top of that, I'm gonna add on, as a black culture, we were taught, because everybody wants to say, oh, well, we don't have Black Wall Street anymore, we don't have the black culture and all this stuff. Like, we don't have anything black really to represent us. Yes, we have black owned businesses, but who are they paying? Like, we don't have our own wealth. Black people, let me just say, there's a difference between being rich and being wealthy. Being rich, yeah, you got all the money that you would like or whatnot, but do you have anything to pass on that passes on from generation to generation to generation? Like, we were stripped of that by being black people. We had Black Wall Street and they burned it down because they did not want us to get that. And again, yes, we have black owned businesses and things of that nature, but they are paying taxes and everything else to who? None other than the white man. Like, granted, we want to be able to start our own businesses and things of that nature so that we can pass something on or have something to pass on to our children, and make it seem like, oh, well, I'm my own boss, I'm paying myself, all this stuff. I have this, I have that, everything. It's not always about the material thing, but the fact that we're wanting to be rich versus wealthy, that tells a
Right.
lot about our mindset.
Right.
Because you should want to be able to leave something to your child outside of debt. We don't need to sit there and have a GoFundMe because you passed away and we can't afford to have your funeral. You shouldn't have to have a GoFundMe because you want to start, your own company or things like that. We should be able to delve into our own and
Mhm.
be able to pull ourselves up. But back in slavery times and everything else, like I said, they broke us and they made us susceptible to them. Like, we can only do as well as they will allow us